What
Hi.
the? Oh.
What the heck? Did someone just like fall from? That was weird.
Hi, I'm just about to let you know I might be a little while because I'm cleaning my cat's litter box.
Oh, well, that's
Duly noted.
Okay, I'll be a little while.
okay, fair enough. And I was not aware Skype had that tiny sound effect. Then again, I just updated, so oh well. Graysha, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. It just tiny sounds. Well, since it's just you and me for right now, I'm sure other people will come in eventually. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's KWCC. I am the kinda host KaijuX because I'm not actually hosting this session. Yeah, I am the second command. Okay, we got another one coming, but it'll be a few minutes before you can join. But I am KaijuX, second command at the KWC and senior editor.
Yes, and I am Grayshot151, leader and host of this leader of the KWC, host of this session, and excited to get into the KWCC for this month, the month of August.
Yes, the month of August, also known as the month of Hey Grayshot, where are the other KWCs, huh?
I sent them in on August 1st. Thank you. I actually just sent an email to Anthony to see what the heck's going on. But yeah, I actually there's gonna actually, as a first up, a little update for KWC. I'm going to be looking to update the matches to 3 month to match the current supply that we have. We've received a lot of KWCs, which is a good sign, a very good sign of the popularity that the KWC, that it's growing, more people are coming to it. So I'm going to see if I can bump it up to 3, and essentially that should be able to match our supply in a sense. I don't want to oversupply the Toho Kingdom, but at the same time, supply and demand, I have to adhere to it. So
Yep. To be honest, I actually have a few on me right now, maybe like about eight or so, but I haven't gotten through all of them. They're kind of lengthy, so.
Well, actually, I just sent over a variety, which if you haven't, there's a few monsters that haven't been on in a while, which should be making a nice return.
Absolutely.
One for a long, I think one hasn't been here since like the 100s, and then the other one, like, I think we haven't had one like 30 or about 30 matches. So
Right. So hopefully we will be seeing some oldies coming back for the near future. And also, likewise, I have one pretty big announcement to make before we actually get into the meat of things. That's notably the channel. I'm going to be updating the way I upload things on my channel. What I'm going to do from here on, like, after this Friday, this Friday will be the last Friday where I'll be uploading like one video of my Pokemon Nuzlocke and the committee read stuff in that one day. What I'll change it to is 2 committee reads matches in a week and 5 Pokemon Pokemon videos in a week. Like, for the course of Monday to Friday, there will be one video of Pokemon stuff. So.
oh, very cool, very, very cool.
So yeah, just trying to get that out of the way, and something tells me, I don't know, maybe within like the next session or 2, Harley and I we might be able to get done with, or maybe 3, might be able to get done with that Pokemon Nuzlocke, or at least complete the main objective of the Nuzlocke. So.
Well, it's kind of no. I can completely understand the channel updates and whatnot. I'm not sure if any of you guys know, but I am a minor supporter. My brother doesn't mostly, but of Grayshot Productions, a site on YouTube as well. And I can completely understand update and channel updates and whatnot. We actually just did one recently where, basically, for like the Patreon supporters and whatnot, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be updating this for you guys, but please, if you're on YouTube, don't worry. It's like this. This is still coming out and that's coming out." So yeah, it's always crazy at like when you're trying to plan ahead, like, oh yeah, I have to adhere to this and that.
Yep. Whew, jeez. I just mostly need it because I feel like the Pokemon, like, from what I have in mind, if we can hit 100 subscribers, because like I've always wanted to do at least a 100 subscriber like reward thing, like I've always kind of just wanted to do that. I'm like 9 away from hitting that number. So it's like, yeah, what I want to do is start doing more stuff live, like start utilizing YouTube streaming. So maybe it could be like committee reads live, or a Pokemon playthrough live, or whatever goes down, or even a KWCC live.
Can't argue with that one.
Mhm. So it just depends on what goes down, if I can even activate it or not. But I do want to have something big for the 100 sub goal, if only because I kind of feel like, it's like when I get there, I feel like I owe you guys something. And I think for a lot of YouTubers that start out, it's just kind of like it's just kind of a big number to go to. Sure, there are people that are in the thousands, the millions, the 10 millions, but still, for small people like me, it's just like, yeah, I'm glad you guys have been, here for this long, still, just still hanging around my channel and all that. It's like, it's great to know that you guys are now supporting me, all our shenanigans and all that, and maybe hopefully give you guys a little bit of insight of what goes on around here.
No, yeah. Again, low comparison. My brother and I technically started the channel. It's really his channel right now. But when we started the channel, it was like, I think we did in like 2012. It was like 4 years. The first year we had like 150 subs. The second year we got up to like 500, and after that it got more and more. And right now I think we're up to about 28, 29. But yeah, it's a slow start, slow grind. But once you get there, it's definitely worth it.
That's what I've noticed with a lot of YouTubers. It's like, if you're small, it's like a slow start thing. It's like, you start small, and it takes a while to get there, but you do eventually, hit your certain mark, and then after that, it just kind of starts growing bigger at a more rapid pace. So.
Oh yeah, indeed.
On the other hand, the good thing about being obscure is that Toho might not notice.
Oh god, yeah. Well, they're busy with Shin Gojira at the moment, so, you're fine.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh god. Someone has entered.
Yes, someone has entered.
Hello? Voice from beyond? Do you hear us? Does it speak? Does it?
What the heck?
I'm just gonna back away slowly from my computer.
Hi.
Slowly.
Okay,
oh god.
What the heck was that? Banner, take your shenanigans elsewhere.
A glass bottle and blow on top of it. Ever take a glass bottle and blow on the top of it?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay, that's what that. I knew it sounded familiar. Well, anyway, on changing subject to the matter at hand. Let's see. I feel as if we don't have much to say about the long past Mechagodzilla Mayhem. I think we said what we need to say with that one.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, here. Did we discuss the last KWCC was what, July? So did we speak about any of the newer ones? I think we did with the Monster X match. I don't think we did with Godzilla Legendary versus Manda.
Right. We have not talked about Godzilla Legendary versus Manda. That's probably our newest one there. Yeah, because the last KWCC was more dedicated to our special guest Chris Mowry. So. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't have the time to talk about any KWCs last time, but I do feel pretty sure we are mostly caught up. Just need to talk about the most recent match, 176, Godzilla Legendary versus Manda.
Yes, which first let me just say, awesome banner there, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Right. The funny story with this.
Oh wait, never mind.
Okay.
He just thought, he's like, never mind.
Someone did a butt dial.
Okay. the funny story with the banner for Godzilla Legendary versus Manda is that I wanted to use a shot of Tokyo that was actually destroyed. Like, I was feeling incredibly picky that day. So I just took, like, the first thing that came to mind was the ruins from G54. So I just took that, slapped Godzilla and Manda in there, created a couple of other effects to disguise it. Like, extra smoke, more fire, etc. And then just kind of ran with that. And of course, Godzilla and Manda were made black and white to accommodate for it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you do. But no, otherwise it looks really, really good. No arguments there. And the match itself was nice. Manda was very much again, Manda taking all the spotlight in a Godzilla match. Way to go. Or another monster. I mean,
yeah.
Part of the course for Godzilla Legendary.
Yes. He will always be second banana.
But no, otherwise it was, again, for as much as you can do with Manda, who is limited, I think, in his abilities in some aspects, it was pretty awesome battle between the two, which, again, you wouldn't think between Godzilla and Manda, but it kind of reminded me of the Destroy Monster sequence when he's, like, fighting, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, that one scrap scene. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when the two engaged for, like, no reason.
Right. I've heard that was apparently Haru Nakajima just screwing around, I've heard, but I'm not sure how much truth there is to that.
I mean, it could be, I don't know, yeah, whatever reason, still works out, because it's a funny little deleted scene, and, there we go. And for the most part, it works out here, because it was just like a reference that I thought of, but... No, otherwise, right. I mean, I think you can see the winner. I think this was, again, kind of like a Godzilla Gorosaurus vs. Destroyer, where it's like, we kind of know the ending. I don't think the other one could have won, but...
Right, but it was still, like, it was at least a fun match, at the very least, and that's kind of the big thing. It's like, even if the victor seems pretty obvious, as long as, like, the journey to that victory is fun, I see no problem, so...
Yep, I can completely agree with that one.
Right, and likewise, the author has also told me he took a lot of inspiration from Dragon Wars, I think, for the match. So, like, some people some people did catch on to, like, the homages that were thrown in there, and I kind of figured, with the way, for as limited time as Final Wars Manda got, I can kind of see how that could work. Like, the sort of movement between, like, the D-Wars Serpents and, Final Wars Manda. I could kind of see a very similar sort of pattern. Again, it's kind of hard to go off of for the case of Millennium Manda, if only because his screen time is very limited, so...
Yeah. But I mean, people even with limited screen time, people foster. I mean, think of like Gazora. Even he never really fought a monster, but still people find interesting ways to use him. So I think that's never a bad thing. I think it's just you just have to use a little bit more creativity while also trying to stay true to the character, which is a tough balancing act. But I think most of our writers are able to do it pretty well.
Right, absolutely.
But
Banner
also,
okay, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say we also have Banner.
Right. Oh. Well, I was about to ask Banner, hey, do you have anything to say about match 176? Have you gotten the chance to read it yet, or?
Honestly, I honestly haven't gotten the chance to read it. I've been meaning to, but alas, life throws me curveballs.
Fair enough. I mean, can't force.
But life's going good, I guess. I mean. I am interning at a production company, so that's nice.
Okay, that's cool. No one cares about your life. You get reading now.
But I've also been immersing myself in the comedy of Brian Regan. Oh my gosh, he's hilarious. Okay. You ever heard of him?
No. Brian Regan?
Yeah, Brian Regan. I'm just gonna lob one of his things that
I probably have Wow, he kind of
Yeah.
looks like a younger Will Ferrell.
Not entirely, but I guess I can see where you're coming from.
Oh no! Oh my God, he's 58 years old. He still looks like a younger Will Ferrell. If that means hold on, how old is Will Ferrell? Ferrell. Wow, Will Ferrell's 49. He's only He's actually wait what? The other guy's older and he looks better than. Oh wow, I'm shocked.
Brian Regan's 58.
Wow.
Well, now Will Ferrell looks like Bill. Now Will Ferrell looks like Bill O'Reilly. What is going on with comedians these days? They're just imitating others.
Well,
Yeah.
they're clearly trying to.
Brian
become
Regan just looks
others.
like Brian Regan.
To you, he
It's-
does. Only to
Yeah.
you, though. So. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Well, that's probably about the biggest KWC related matter at hand. So let's talk something a little bigger. Shin Godzilla. To those who,
Yes.
to my understand, of course, one thing I need to make perfectly clear from the get-go. I have not seen the movie for myself. I know of a couple details, but I don't want to get too spoiler heavy. So,
I've been reading the spoilers, and by God, that only makes me want to see it more.
well, I mean, if
Just
you right, I mean, if reading spoilers is your thing, go ahead. It's pretty much everywhere on the internet. But I kind of want to.
I mean, it usually isn't for me, but like, this is the one exception, and I'm thoroughly like, yes.
Right. I have seen small snippets. I am aware of Kaiju A and Kaiju B, the two figures set to be released by Bandai, I think.
I believe so. That or movie month,
So,
whatever
was
it was.
So wait, that's an actual thing. It's not like I thought that was part of like the fake leak script a while ago.
No.
There is actually some truth with Kaiju A and Kaiju B.
They were a real thing, but the fake leak script like incorporated them in different ways.
Yeah.
What
Long story short, the fake leak script utilized Kaiju A and Kaiju B in a different way, which is not going to be presented in the movie. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were. I mean, no spoilers. I'm not going to go into anything major, but there were no like other kaiju in the new movie. It was just Godzilla.
Ragon was right.
Right. Yeah, I think the only thing I think we can make sure to let go in terms of spoilers is only Godzilla. He's the only character in the movie, or at least the only kaiju in the movie. If he were the only character, I'd be amazed that they got even more than hours footage of him.
There's just like hours. There's just an hour and a half of him monologuing through the entirety of it, and now like with a Morgan Freeman voice. He's now just destroying Tokyo.
Yeah, right.
Godzilla has the voice of Raymond Burr.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That would be. And there's no. Godzilla's watching a man destroy a city piece by piece, and he's in the voice of Raymond Burr.
Oh my God!
Oh, man.
He's just. What if that? Oh my God! That would be a hilarious role reversal though. Like kaiju are basically in the place of people, and like a giant man just. It would be like Attack on Titan, but with kaiju as people, and yeah,
right. You're right.
Titans
Titans
as basically
kaiju, yeah.
Same.
Oh my gosh, that'd be weird.
I mean, just imagine like Godzilla just in an armchair, like in a beach armchair, just like with shades and like sipping lemonade.
Or Rodan the Rodan Air Defense Force or whatever.
Yeah, but a bunch of rodents just like armed with submachine guns.
Oh my gosh. Oh, good glory.
They're like the Red Berets.
Something I wouldn't mind going into greater detail.
Gamera would be an environmentalist.
Right. Something I wouldn't mind going into greater detail, though, is the soundtrack, which I've gotten my hands on, and all I could say is, it's Shiro Sugizu, folks. It is awesome. If you love his work, you will love this soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard complaints about, like, too much decisive battle rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
I have no complaints.
I thought that was a very interesting choice on his part to use the decisive battle track from Evangelion for the movie.
Well, the thing is, it's not decisive battle because
per se, right? It just has that very similar. It's very similar.
It doesn't have that
right. It just has that very similar.
It's literally
opening.
just the rhythm. If anything, it's more similar to the 3.33 track Bataille d'Espace.
Yeah.
Or Battle Space.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Which that sounds awesome too. It has the same rhythm, of course, but still, it sounds great. And as far as I can infer, and I think this was confirmed by Joe May on his blog, it's pretty much like the everyone scrambling to get stuff ready track, like that.
Right, which makes sense.
That's literally what it is in Evangelion, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much just everyone scrambling to get ready to, prepare for the threat or whatever.
Yes. Scramble.
Right. So, Grayshot, have you heard any of the tracks for the new Godzilla?
No, but I have heard they used some of the music and some of the roars from the older films.
Okay,
That's really the only thing I know of.
Okay, right.
Right.
I'll try not to...
Great shot. Yeah.
What?
Do you want the soundtrack?
Sure.
Or at least one track.
Sure. I mean, is it good? I mean, that's most of the question.
It is.
It's really.
I'll give you a track.
Hang on a second. I'll give him the soundtrack.
All right.
Here we are.
I'm just about to listen to Black Angels. My God, I love that track. Black Angels is such a good track. I'm like, jeez.
So there are a lot of really good tracks in there, and from the way it's arranged in the soundtrack, we will probably be hearing some Ifukube songs in there. So
there will be. Also, did you notice that in the track, which is basically Godzilla's theme from Terror of Mechagodzilla, there are two halves of it. One is the original recording, and the second's a re-record.
I've noticed that. Like, it's distinctively kind of split in half in a weird way, but hey, I don't mind. So, anyway. Let's see. One of the noteworthy things I've noticed about Shin Godzilla is that it seems to be, while still keeping true to the essence of Godzilla, it's taking everything in a different direction in comparison to Legendary's Godzilla. Has anyone else kind of caught on to that? Well,
yeah, I mean, Legendary's Godzilla was supposed to be like a more heroic force of nature thing. This one's literally walking death.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's like...
Kind of my Komarogashi guy.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, as you pointed out, Legendary Godzilla's obviously kind of like the heroic Godzilla that people are supposed to be more sympathetic towards. Whereas, Shin Godzilla is very much, very deathly looking, commands a certain presence when he's on screen. Like, you look to him not necessarily in sympathy, but in awe, and maybe even fear.
In fear. Like, you want to run, but you can't.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's a certain presence with Shin Godzilla, despite the the relatively small arms. But yeah.
By the way,
likewise,
I've seen the beam.
Do not talk about the beam.
I won't talk about it.
That I do not want to know.
I'm just gonna say
anything.
I've seen it.
Okay, that's all you need to say, because that's the one thing I want to say for myself. I don't want to know if the beam uses classic sound effects. I don't want to know what the beam looks like.
I haven't heard the beam.
Right. We just know it's probably going to be purple. That's about it.
Actually, KaijuX, I'm not sure if you know, but the beam actually just fires a whole bunch of Regans at people. Like the comedian just flies out. Brian Regan just descends from Godzilla's maw and just destroys the city.
Oh my god!
Spoilers, man! Spoilers. I mean, I did hear. I did hear.
Like everyone's ears are assaulted with the emergency room skit. And the UPS, like, we need to know the weight and the girth.
Grayshot, how could you spoil the scene where Tommy Wiseau ruptures out of Godzilla's tail tip and becomes a giant monster?
Oh my god, hold on 1 second.
I'm fed up with this world.
Yeah!
And he just flies off with dragonfly wings.
I don't...
Tommy Wiseau the parasite, whoever knew.
Yeah. And then they lock him up in a room.
Oh my gosh, that's gold.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with this world. Oh,
I'm fed up with this world.
Like
what? Oh, hi, Goji.
Yeah.
How's your sex life?
Oh, jeez. Likewise, I'm also...
That's Tommy Wiseau for ya.
Yep.
Oh, what the shit? What? Who's there?
What the heck was
Me.
that?
It's the derb.
Oh, okay.
It's derb.
Great.
Oh, God.
Everyone's bringing in explosive introductions today.
It's derb.
Sorry, I'll got like those little snakes that you light up. I didn't bring any firecrackers, so.
You did. I brought a Catherine wheel. Yeah. You know about Catherine wheels?
No.
I don't think any of us do.
Wow, I'm surprised. They're basic. Okay. Let me just show ya.
No, I don't want.
Catherine wheel.
I don't want to. I don't want to add anything.
You don't have to. It's like spinning firecrackers.
I can't see it. Hang
It's
on.
a firecracker which spins around and around
Give
and
me a
around
moment.
and around, and it makes a big circle. So, for some reason, it's called a Catherine wheel because it's a wheel named Catherine.
Catherine the Great?
Interesting.
Catherine the Great? What?
Okay, it's a ruler of Russia, you know, just moving on.
Okay, I thought you said Catherine the Grapes.
Oh.
The things you miss here in life.
You know, things happen. In any case, Deserve, we just got done speaking about, again, no spoilers, Shin Gojira as well as KWC 176 and a comedian named Brian Regan for some reason. Don't ask.
Brian Regan.
Okay.
Well, anyway, let's see.
I was just getting to see what 176 was. So.
Have you gotten the chance to read it, or?
No.
Oh. Okay. That makes two of you. Glances at Banner.
Yeah.
Well, the other major note is we also I sent in a variety of KWCs. Actually, I will say this: the next match will actually be the next one in my series. So, yay on that one.
Right. If you're a fan of Grayshot's line of matches, yeah, you might enjoy what he has coming in store. So.
Oh, actually, so just as a teaser, or nothing with that. So yeah, how's that coming along? Because right now I have something planned, and I have KaijuX looking it over. It's not finished. In fact, okay, so I will say this right now. One of the characters in it is, comically enough, Zone Fighter. And and this was early on to the point where I intentionally saved a move of his called the Meteor Punch until this very match, because I wanted it to be like super awesome and super thrilling. And then I looked over and I realized, oh wait, he doesn't have a move called the Meteor Punch. I don't know where I got it from. I think I might have just like misread like the Meteor Missile Might and the Uzi Punch. I don't know, but I literally wrote it in, and I looked back like a few months ago. It's just like, when the hell? Why did I put this in? Oh wait.
Oh boy, right. Yeah, I haven't gotten the chance to get on it recently. I've been very occupied with real life stuff. But I am, like, probably after this and a couple other things I need to do, I will try and get back to it, and I will try and, you know, touch it up a little bit and just send it back to you. So.
You know, for some reason, when you said Zone Fighter, I thought Kamen Rider, and I remembered Starfish Hitler.
Wait,
so
I can't believe that's a thing. Why is that even a thing?
You know,
why the hell?
Are you this new?
It's Kamen Rider, yes.
Starfish Hitler's been a thing for a long time, like even on the internet.
Honestly, I'm just kind of shocked he got Starfish Hitler out of Zone Fighter. It's like, what?
I thought you said Zone Fighter. I thought Kamen Rider, and then
right. Yeah, the fact that you said Zone Fighter to Kamen Rider to Starfish Hitler. What? What the heck?
I don't know.
Clearly, someone has not spent enough time on the internet. You must have no life in order to do so. Well, anyway, well, let's see if I can conjure something up real quick.
Well, the only other note I was going to say.
Another read of Space Godzilla sometime?
We already did.
Hunt you down. I will hunt you down.
Another read.
I wouldn't be like, I'd be okay with that, to be honest. Like, another rereading of a Space Godzilla for the committee read series sometime in the future. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but...
Or maybe, like, a terrible Godzilla fic.
Right, that too, because, like, committee reads is all about the good, the bad, and the ugly, so...
Wow.
Right, but I do have a couple of suggestions here, and I do have a couple others I kind of like to do... kind of like to read myself, well, with the rest of y'all, of course, but yeah, but believe me when I say we will get there when we get there, and as long as the new proposed format goes accordingly, we might be doing more readings a little bit more spontaneously, or, you know, a little bit more regularly, so...
Oh, also, just because of the note of you guys reminding me with Godzilla and, you know, eating. If you click this, if you click into the video, yeah, I know the image. You probably like, how does Godzilla relate? If you just watch it for like 30 seconds at that point, a lot of characters you probably know from everything will appear. So yeah.
Goku.
And others. Trust me on this. But in any case,
Oh, is this 1 Minute Melee? I think I've heard of them.
Oh yeah, 1 Minute Melee is, I know, side tangent. Awesome series. They're no longer with Screw Attack, but
okay.
Essentially, they have characters like without any research, just like for the fun, just verse each other. And this is it's not a 1 minute melee. It's a 1 minute massacre. It's a 1 minute massacre.
Fair enough. My God. Fair enough. Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, everything just goes south. But not just for Godzilla. It literally is everyone.
Right. Oh gosh. Over what, a piece of wood?
This is the Ultimate Showdown.
That is meat. He's trying to have lunch, thank you.
Oh, meat. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I keep trying to eat it. Yeah, Goku's a big fan of wood. He's actually part beaver, part Saiyan.
Yeah. Oops. Oh my gosh.
It's Saitama. It's Saitama. Oh shit.
Yes, but this was just like a...
Shit!
Wrecked.
Oh! Ah! Saitama wins.
Oh. Well, that's one way to stop it, I guess.
Oh no! Oh no, Saitama versus Superman. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh boy, that was pretty good.
If I haven't seen this, if I haven't seen that one already, if it's not in 3D, that is, I don't know.
It's like a 2D animation type deal, but it's a.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, good. I haven't seen it then. I've seen an attempt at a 3D.
And if you guys want the sequel, there you go. Because I'm a nice guy. But
Cool.
in any case, yeah. Otherwise, it was yeah, I saw that. I found this recently, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Godzilla!" And then he just gets wrecked. And I'm just like, "Oh,
This battle will not
right."
be timed. Oh shit.
Right, which is like, oh, what a bummer. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't remember that first part with him like hitting Godzilla for directly. I don't remember that in the last part, but let's go with that retcon.
I think
and all
it's a
that jazz.
slightly abridged version, but
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of abridged, did you guys see? I know, multiple tangents. Did you guys hear about Team 4-Star, the guys behind like Dragon Ball Z abridged? They had a competition with abridged. It was the Tebas.
yes, I have heard about that. I'm actually kind of a huge fan of them. Been keeping up with their stuff, so.
Yeah. Otherwise, I have a friend of mine. He actually did one as well. He did one for Comic One Punch Man, which should have gone horribly, horribly wrong, like really horribly wrong. But it didn't go bad actually, and it looks like he's like again. They haven't released anything, but my brother literally made it his job. He like looked over like, okay, I'm gonna look over the hundreds on YouTube. He had a playlist of 200, and he just while he was rendering, like he had them on the background. And he was like, no, this sucks. Like he would just skip the ones that were horrible, which apparently were like hundreds, literally hundreds.
Oh,
but he got it down to like 5, and he would say like this one, and there were 2 others. Like there's a lot, this line April and a Log Horizon, which were apparently like the top 3 that he could find. So it's very interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Huh.
Oh god. Are you guys still watching the Goku? No,
I am.
Superman versus one. Yeah, it's a fantastic battle. I highly recommend you guys go check it out if you are a fan of epic battles. They actually have their own soundtrack. They actually made his own soundtrack for it.
That's pretty neat. Well, I'm watching it on mute right now, if only because I don't want it to, have a whole lot of sound going on my end, but...
Yeah, that could be a problem with the whole recording thing.
Yep. So, yeah, I just have it on mute, watching it right now, and I enjoy what I see, so...
Well, the other note is, like, with this style is they do all the voices, like, you're seeing probably, like, title. There's no voice acting, mostly. It's just all, like, it's silent and...
Right.
It's just like they say it, which I think is a much simpler way, because you have all these different characters that would never, like, okay, obviously Saitama's Japanese, so how does that work with Superman, and how does this... they all just know. It all works.
Right. Of course they're speaking now, but of course there's subtitles, so I'm not missing out on anything, so...
Exactly. Plus, it's like, I think it's a simpler way for, like, this animation, because it's like, once you have, like, lip flaps and all that jazz, that's, like, incredibly difficult. It's like doing animation and matching it in time. It's like, or you could just, not have it and just have nothing moving. That works.
Right. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, a question that I actually had in mind...
On other notes...
Oh, go ahead.
The only other thing I could think of... Oh, I was going to say, the other note we have is... Recently, I mean, it's kind of connected to KWC, but your brother actually got promoted on the site.
Yep, that is correct.
And we haven't been able to discuss that.
Right. My older brother has been promoted as vice president of Toho Kingdom recently. So, yeah, with
Wait,
this
really?
position. Yeah, seriously.
Oh, damn.
Yep. So, yeah.
Yes, now we must all suck up to KaijuX.
Yes, all hail me. But yeah, for those not in the know, he's on TK. He has he's been contributing for years now. He recently became vice president, and with this position, he's been adding new things. He's been He's fixed up a couple things, notably with KW. Like, I'm just gonna point out the KWC stuff, like how matches 26 and 27 were inverted for the longest time.
Will finally be fixed.
Yep. That was finally fixed. A lot of the other details were finally fixed, and it's like, oh, it just feels nice to have most of that fixed. And I mean, like, there are a couple others that need to be touched up too, but I think you, Grayshot, found it on the forums, because I posted it there because I felt like it, and just kind of said, oh yeah, well, I'll send this to Anthony, so that way he knows, oh hey, fix this while you're at it. So.
Actually, yeah, I even took that list from the KWC errors that and passed that along to Anthony when I sent that. I sent that to Anthony, so I even made sure I even passed along a link just to be safe. Mm-hmm. But no, otherwise, yeah, everything should be repaired or fixed or whatnot, so should be all set there.
Mm-hmm. Right. And likewise, the question I've also been wanting to ask, because I know Deserve here's written some matches, I know you've written matches, I've written matches, so this all need a little bit of time to think of, but out of the matches you guys have posted, I guess you could technically call this a two-part question, but one, what's your favorite match that's on the site so far, and two, who'd you have the most time writing? Like, which monster in particular did you have fun writing with? Or monsters?
Well, I guess I'll start this first, but I'll start in reverse. So, for the monsters I enjoy writing the most with, I gotta say, it depends on my time. Like, it depends on, certain time frames. Like, originally, Zilla was the monster I loved writing with, and that's why the first biggest match I wrote was a very heavy Zilla match. It was Jet Jaguar and Zilla versus Gara and Gauss, versus Gara versus Gauss. That one I quite enjoyed, but it's kind of, I've done in spurts. Like, my next spurt was then Zone Fighter, because I just love the idea of a superhero monster, kind of. And I like the fact he could be human, so I toyed with that, and that you're going to see that for the next few matches up until the 11th in my series. And then I kind of got onto a kick of Godzilla-type monsters, like more Godzilla-esque, like Mecha Godzilla, and, well, actually Godzilla. And I think Godzilla right now is the monster, comically, Godzilla Heisei, I should say, or Heisei, whatever. He's currently the one I have the most enjoyment, because I'm currently writing a match right now, which to relate back to the links I posted, where basically he is the Saitama in the match. Like, come up, especially with how this monster has been interpreted as of late, thinking he's he's unstoppable or whatnot, like how he's gonna easily wipe the floor, and it's just completely the opposite. Like, Godzilla just wipes the floor with him, and it'll be a long time before that match is posted. So. But yeah, that's currently who I'm enjoying with right now. On the note of my favorite matches posted to the site, I would have to say the original Tom match, the Zilla versus King Kong versus Hedorah versus Ebra.
Matches you've written that are posted on the site.
Yeah, I would have to say my favorite match would have to go back to my the first big one I did. Because I think that one was the best one I've written so far, with a close second being Jet Jaguar versus Ebra, because I really enjoy that story and the fight between the two. I would have to say my Zilla match, just because I like that character dynamic. I like I liked how I balanced it, and I like I like the monster battles. With my personal favorite being the Jet Jaguar versus Gara match in it, or like when they do the original fight.
All right.
So, yeah.
Deserve. Do you have what was your favorite match that you've written that's been posted on the site, and what's your favorite monster to write with so far?
Well, I'd say my favorite, or at least best match that I think I wrote would be King Caesar versus Monster X. Still. Because I think for one, it did give Monster X his first win, and
yeah, I know.
And he did get a great fight in, and I think I did a pretty good job writing King Caesar. And actually, I'd say that was probably the best character writing that I've done for a monster. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still got several matches sitting around in my KWC match folders, but I mean,
well, just to cut in, I will also say you were the first one, I think, to use the golem aspect of King Caesar, and I think it worked. It worked very, very well for the match.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I don't remember too well if there were any matches before 103 that kind of put a little bit more emphasis on the fact that he's a golem. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, and you also didn't have to worry about you also gave Monster X a very deserving victory, and a victory that was, he didn't have to go. No offense, Joshua, he didn't have to go Kaiser Ghidorah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or transform.
Right. I mean, it's like as neat as it was to have that as a nice introduction to Kaiser Ghidorah at the KWC, which is understandable. It's like, yeah, it's nice to see a Monster X victory that belongs to Monster X and not Kaiser Ghidorah, if that makes sense.
Yep, completely agree.
All right, and did you already say who your favorite monster to write with was, or?
I'm a little late.
It was. Well, I did really enjoy King Caesar, or just from out of the matches that have been posted, but I'm trying to think of. Well,
I'm just talking
like.
Go ahead.
Does KWCE or whatever, does that count too? Like, I'm still right.
Probably not.
I will allow it.
I mean, it's like that's gonna be kind of its own independent thing. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm just talking about, KWC speaking from the matches you have posted. Who was the monster you enjoyed writing the most?
I'd say King Caesar, because I enjoyed. Again, I just really enjoyed writing that match.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'd say maybe Gyra. It's either Gyra or King Caesar. Like, I really just like writing monsters that can get a good brawl in. Like, I don't think I could write a good match with a monster like Rodan or maybe Ebra, but I just kind of like the more. I don't know if I want to say humanoid-esque, but because I think I can. Because I have a match that I haven't turned in yet that did have Ghidorah, and I think I did a decent job writing him. But
okay.
Yeah.
No, I can agree with that one. That's why I tend not to use I'm not gonna lie. I may or may not have killed off a monster just because I hated writing with him, and or not killed him off, but the absolute most hated match I've ever written, which comically enough this is the 4th time I've written this match because my computer has crashed, a file has been deleted. I've written this match 3 times, and it's not a short one, but it is with 2 monsters that are about as mobile as a rock, and having them collide or having them bite is like pulling teeth. It's just like, why did I do this? Why?
Oh boy. Well, that sounds
that's
If
That's just why I just don't try to use those monsters. Like I just use stuff that I know I can get a good match out of.
If I may interject here, with monsters like King Caesar and Gyra, it's easy. It may just be easier to write because unlike monsters like Rodan, they can just get up close and you can write a really physical match. Well, the monsters like Rodan's not really known for his melee prowess.
Right. Well, not really. He's
really,
capable, but not.
Really, but
there is a limit.
He's capable, but there is a limit. Exactly, there's a limit. You can't have Rodan going toe to toe with someone like Anguirus, for instance.
But what if he pushed it to the limit?
Push it to the limit.
Well, anyway.
Out now.
Well, welcome aboard, Harley, to this discussion. What we're talking about right now is what was your favorite match to write, and who was your favorite monster to write from the matches that are posted on the main site?
Posted? Okay. I would have to say the Ghidorahs. it was a really nice and fun challenge to write just a pure like Ghidorah match. No other monsters to help carry it but Ghidorah. It was really challenging to find at least creative and interesting ways to write two Ghidorahs fighting each other and not have it be boring.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, 2-on-1, but still.
2-on-1. But still, three Ghidorah. But still, having 3 Ghidorahs is even more of a challenge than just 2 Ghidorahs.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely.
I can also imagine writing it with like making sure you can keep a head track of like this Ghidorah, that Ghidorah, like just the terminology, like trying to keep them separate would even be harder, just because it's like, oh yes, you have Hesse and Grand, but they're both golden dragons. Well, can't say dragon, can't say you really have to focus on their differences, and there's not too many, honestly. I mean, in the naming, non-powers.
In the naming, I understand that. For the naming, I'm mainly just called Grand King Ghidorah, named regular King Ghidorah, like the King of Terror, or Scourge of the Cosmos, just to make it easier on myself. I would call him Grand King Ghidorah once in a while to clarify, but other than that, I really tried to make sure everyone. Like I can obviously call Mecha King Ghidorah, Mecha King Ghidorah. No one's gonna mistake that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the easy. I would, definitely agree. He's the easier one.
But for the most part, I mainly just called Grand King Ghidorah, or the variations of the name, like the King of Terror, and I just called King Ghidorah, just to make it easier on myself.
Mm-hmm. Right, absolutely. I probably imagine you had a blast writing that one.
It was really fun writing it. It was really challenging to think of a realistic way for a Grand King to lose, though. Because
not realistic, sci-fi fantasy, but plausible.
Plausible at least, plausible.
Right.
Because I think it'd be a little unfair if I had to write King Ghidorah's Heisei's unretirement match and he lost.
Right.
That's not really, to me, that's not really putting your foot in the direction. That's more like trying to leave the house before you got in.
Right. Oh man. But yeah, and that's part of the reason.
So what do you guys think would be the hardest match? I'm sorry.
Well, it's part of the reason why we instated the Godzilla Island powers for Mecha King Ghidorah was to help diversify him. Of course, do understand this does not mean you have to use those abilities. We're just putting those out there so that way you can have a little bit more variety. Because let's face it, Heisei Ghidorah and Mecha King, when you get down to it, are actually very similar. They really are. So, they're just...
They really are.
Yeah, they're just, beam spamming golden-headed dragon, or, beam spamming 3-headed dragons with Mecha King's one new ability being the machine hand capture cables.
Mm-hmm.
So...
What's stuck me apart from all the Ghidorahs is Ghidorah is pretty much the vanilla Ghidorah. Whereas Mecha King Ghidorah has these, machine hands and stuff. I really decided to dive deep into Grand King Ghidorah's move pool a little, instead of just having him fire beam. Have him pull out moves no one will probably expect him to pull out, like the dome things.
Right. And that's the best
part. Might as well
use
the characters to their fullest ability.
Right. Yeah, that's the best part about...
That's honestly my preferred style.
Oh, right. Which I understand wholeheartedly, because it's like, if you use the characters to, their fullest potential, then it's like, yeah, you'll get a lot out of it. And especially with Grand King, with all the crazy shenanigans he's capable of. He can definitely pull off a lot of very different tactics compared to the other Ghidorahs. Of course...
Yeah, I'm not... Sorry, go on.
As said, Heisei Ghidorah is very vanilla, so... But hey, I think that's, I don't know, for me that's, this is just me personally speaking here, I think that's just kind of like the one unique attribute to Heisei Ghidorah is the fact that he is such a vanilla creature that's like, okay, yeah, you got Mecha King who's, from the future,
We have Grand King who's like Ghidorah but better.
Right, Showa Ghidorah on steroids, that was the one term I
pretty much
keep using. Desk Ghidorah, who's pretty independent. Monster X, if you want to count him in. Well, I guess with Kaiju Ghidorah, yeah, now he is. But
I have plans with that. Don't.
Right. Oh, right. And if you want to take the like what's mentioned the FAQ or sheet, if you want to count him in there, I think there's a little something different to him. But though he is a touch more vanilla by comparison.
Yeah, that is true, which makes it both easier and harder to write. Because on the one hand, he's, on the one hand, Heisei Ghidorah isn't exactly a weakling, but on the other hand, because I have more than two hands here, but he only has his gravity beams, which does make it harder to write for. Because he only has that one ability. He's tough, but compared to the other Ghidorahs, he's not that tough.
Oh, right. Yeah, I hear you. And honestly, I think the best part about Heisei Ghidorah is the fact that you can. I feel as if he has a lot more variety of monsters he can fight because he's strong enough to hold his own, but you could also consider him weak enough to where it would like an underdog monster might be able to find a way to beat him, sort of thing.
Yeah, he's not.
Whereas, like, I'd say Grand King Ghidorah is the opposite effect, where it's like if you wanted something bigger, like a higher tier monster, to have him fight Grand King Ghidorah essentially is kind of like evening it out. Like, you wouldn't want Hesse to go. Like, I don't think anyone would put like Heisei Ghidorah and Bagan together. But I think someone would put Grand King Ghidorah, and I think they'd put those two together. I think it'd work out a lot better.
I would even argue that Mecha King Ghidorah would be another good matchup against Bagan. That's just me, but given the fact I've personally written for Mecha King Ghidorah, he's not that. He's pretty strong.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like, Mecha King Ghidorah is not to be trifled with by any means, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, there was just a need for variety, so we kind of, again, optional Godzilla Island powers. So, with Goror, it's the sort of basis.
And for what I've seen, Mecha King Ghidorah has, like, the most limited use I've ever seen. Unless we can have Mecha King Ghidorah fight solo, I'm not sure if we can do that, can we?
I mean, you kind of could, but I mean, what do you mean, like, fight solo? Just like as an AI or something, or you just mean like controlled, like send to destroy?
Either option. Just have Mecha King Ghidorah fight by itself without having to have a Ghidorah die and travel back in time.
That did happen though. That was in That was Grand King Ghidorah and Mecha King Ghidorah versus Biollante. Technically, he was by himself. He was controlling the guy inside of him.
Okay. Okay, I understand now. Well, because I mean, for a majority of the part, Mecha King Ghidorah is like horribly underutilized. I think that's maybe because people might be under the assumption that you would need to have some sort of time travel shenanigans involving another Ghidorah to involve in him.
Well, I mean, I think it's still fine if you use like another character. I don't think maybe not another character, but I have no arguments with, like, if someone wants to incorporate, like, Mecha King Ghidorah, if he's just there. Like, you don't need a big backstory. Like, the KWC, yes, I always like it, but I don't think it's always necessary. Sometimes you just want to fight your...
Right. If you just want a monster to be there... Yeah, if you want a monster to be there for the sake of it being there, that is totally okay, because the KWC is all about pitting two monsters against each other. Whether you want to have a deeper story to that or not is up to you.
I have an idea. I do have an idea, because Mecha King Ghidorah is technically a peacekeeping monster. He was built specifically to stop Godzilla, if I recall correctly, and that would technically fall into the peacekeeping stuff.
Well, right, defending humanity and all that good stuff, yeah.
Defending humanity. I'm thinking maybe we could. I'm thinking because that'd be kind of interesting. It'd be kind of like the hero monster from the future sort of thing.
Right. Because it's like
maybe something involving Mothra or Leo, where Leo accidentally shoots forward and Tom has to fight Mecha King Ghidorah before he has to go back.
I think Greyshot actually had a match like that. Something that involved Leo, Mecha King, and Megaguirus, I think.
Yes. I actually do, and it's I have Mecha King Ghidorah go in the back. Essentially, it's a time travel match, and it also features another monster, but he's not an active participant in the fight. But yeah, I essentially have, without going into like spoilers of the match and who wins, I essentially have Mecha King Ghidorah go to a location. Mothra Leo goes through time to get to said location, and that causes a time ripple which allows Megaguirus to enter. So that's kind of like how I was able to get the three together. So, but that's like story again. You could just have the monsters appear if you wanted.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
As much as it is to have good setup, sometimes you just go right into it.
I like Harley's disappointed. Okay, like the fact that it's like, okay, I guess I'll have story.
No. I like having story. There's one rule I have. If I've read a monster, I must use like all of their abilities at least once in the match, because that makes you far more interested in Godzilla, Fire His Atomic Ray a bunch. Like, no, let's spice it up a little. Let's have that, nuclear pulse coming. Boom. Let's have like all this other stuff. Obviously, I'm not using brain emotes. It's way over out there. Like,
Actually, so on that idea, if you had, what is your favorite monster ability or a monster ability you would want to like put with another monster ability, like a combo? Like I'm thinking like kind of like what is it, Marvel versus Capcom? You know, the ability combining or whatever. Like you're like you know what I mean? Okay. What two would you? I think that's the fighting game. There's a fighting game that you can use two specials into one. I'm forgetting what it was. In any case, you know what I mean. Like using two of their abilities like combined and using like a super move. Like what monsters would you guys want to use?
Ooh boy.
Very good question.
What sort of combinations I'd like to do? Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm having a hard time trying to think.
What came to mind would be the ultimate counterattack move. King Caesar King Caesar's eye reflection, and Mothra's powder reflection, scale reflect, whatever the hell it is.
Ooh, right. Ooh, that'd be neat.
A monster fires at King Caesar, he reflects it. It reflects it at Mothra's reflection to do some damage.
Right, maybe it's like another monster, like Monster A is stuck in the powder, Monster B fires a beam at King Caesar, and King Caesar fires at the scales, which hurts Monster A.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Ooh, that would be neat.
The one I thought of, which was, again, I thought of with the Zone Fighter, was what if he's always done his abilities one at a time, what if he just put them all together? So he did the Uzi Punch, the Meteor Missile Might, and the Max Speed to create like an explosive, just overkill. Essentially, he just, first off, he's throwing punches at, fast speed. He's running at max speed. And then he's firing his Meteor Missile Might to make it explosive. And he basically, whatever's in front of him basically just turns to mush.
Oh, man, that's brutal. That
would be pretty brutal.
Basically.
That would be like zones, having some difficulty. And like he's like he needs to think out of all the stops, so he combines all his weapons, starts to like sprint, goes Mach speed, just starts punching rapidly. All of a sudden, boom! Big explosion.
Right.
Well, the other note I thought of, or I was thinking of, is the worst combo you'd want to have is Cyber Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla Heisei, and essentially having his central beam get reflected back and forth.
Oh my gosh. Does it work like that? I could have sworn that the chest thing was only mostly for reflecting Sonic stuff. Because he didn't really use it to bounce back.
I thought it could reflect any beam.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was
I think he only used it against the giant bat.
Yeah, he only used it against the giant bat, and I believe it's cited as some kind of sonic reflector. Of course, if your Cyber Godzilla happens to be updated, he could reflect anything back, it's like, okay, I won't argue that. But as of right now, to my understanding, Cyber Godzilla is it just says reflector dish here on TJ, but I believe it's a sonic reflector dish for, like, the main series. But I could be wrong. I do get the idea, though, like having a monster that can like bounce back and forth with their energy and just keep building up. I'm trying to think of another monster that can do that besides Heisei Mechagodzilla.
We almost did that with. There was a lot of discussion with Mechagodzilla, or not Mechagodzilla, Mecha King Ghidorah, incorporating the energy shield and having that being able to because there was a lot of discussion when I first took over the KWC with you, Andrew, about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It was like basing the properties off of the GU counterpart, which I've actually just discovered recently also heals them. So I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
don't forget Space Godzilla's reflector shield.
Oh,
Granted,
yeah, that's
he only
right, the
used it
reflector
against
shield.
Godzilla's beam.
Yeah, that's right, Space Godzilla's reflector
Oh
shield.
my god, have it 3 ways.
Yeah.
So what you do is you put those in, then you put in King Caesar's reflected eyes and Mothra's reflective scaling. And
I think the reflective scaling would kind of stop the beams, but
sorta. It's kind of weird. I've noticed it's kind of weird how those actually work. But have King Caesar just start catching things with his eyes and sending them back. That'd be hilarious.
Right. I don't think it grows stronger though. I don't think.
Okay.
Well, then again, I don't think Space Godzilla's made it stronger either. So
with power combinations, I actually thought of Godzilla using his nuclear pulse and somehow a combination with his nuclear breath. Like he's charging up, for a big move. Nuclear pulses, the monster starts flying back. Then bam, just smacks him with a nuclear breath right afterward.
Mm-hmm.
So well, you can also have the spiral. I mean, I think they use this in the comic, but the spiral atomic ray infused with the nuclear pulse, which I guess he did in Godzilla 2000, kind of. But I mean,
that's really. Do we count that?
When do you do that in the comics? I don't remember.
Versus killing the giant thing.
Oh, right, the Megiddo, right. Megiddo, the giant trilopod, right.
Yeah.
I guess. I could see that.
Because when you said I'm a power fusion, I actually thought of them, just like Chizo, Zonfod and Ultraman combining a few of their powers like a typical team-up tokusatsu big finishing move.
Right,
the dynamic punch combines with them the specium beams to create this big explosion.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I think. Yeah, like mentioned with Zone Fighter earlier, I think there is a lot of potential with mix mashing all tokusatsu like Ultraman's all of his nutty powers and just being okay, what can I do with this? It's what if he comes out with teleportation and uses the saw blade thing or something? just go full crazy with it.
That would be pretty funny.
Well, I think the absolute another good one would be, well, Space Godzilla has his crystals. What if he just was F it, I'm going critical mass, and decides to just break all of his own crystals? He just causes them to all fly up and smash them into himself.
Ooh, right.
That's interesting.
Since the critical mass is a thing, I guess having the Space Godzilla's crystals having those properties would be allowed, I guess. So
aside from controlling the crystals, can Space Godzilla really do anything else aside from power up with them?
I believe he does have some. He has control over them.
I know he can control them.
Right. Like the film, he just pretty much shoots them like missiles. But
yeah.
KWC, I think, takes a little bit more liberty with a slightly more telekinetic spin where they can aim and all that. But otherwise, the idea is still there. So.
Can he only just control them and gain power from them? Can he do nothing else with them?
Well, I mean, he can make them grow. I mean, they did that pretty well. I mean, the city didn't have it before, and then all of a sudden, whoop! Look, it's a garden of minerals.
Right. Well, I mean, not grow in the sense of making them taller, just grow in power.
Exactly. But I think he'd also cause them. I mean. It's in the movie he makes them grow, right? In the space station he literally causes them to form or maybe just go through, but in the city he basically makes them grow from nothing. He causes them to
the crystals just kind of pop up from underground.
Because I'm imagining during a fight, with the ground ball monster, Space Godzilla quite literally throws them off their feet by making crystals go underneath them.
Mm-hmm. Right. He could probably do that.
Yeah, I would have honestly no problems with that. The only note would be the crystal wasn't that powerful. I mean, you could make the bigger they were, if you made a very big crystal. I mean, yeah, it would be super durable.
Or even pull the manga trick where it's the freaking Space Godzilla throws a crystal at Godzilla and stabs into his thigh. And then over the course, as Godzilla approaches Fukuoka to fight Space Godzilla, where, he has his power source at, the crystal starts growing bigger and bigger and bigger in Godzilla's thigh. So.
Oh, wait, what? Woo! That just sounds painful. That's ugh. God damn.
Oh yeah, but there's a metal move Godzilla does in the manga where he like ramps into Space Godzilla with the crystal that's in his thigh because it's grown so big that he just
He's like, you
stabs him with his
forgot
own...
this.
Yeah,
He's like, you forgot this, asshole.
Yeah, it's freaking wild.
But speaking of power
that's
companies,
manga, so.
I wouldn't mind combining the destructive forces of G-Force's own Mechagodzilla Heisei and Mogura's. They both have the spiral grenades, right?
Only Mogura has spiral grenades.
Okay, well, what was Mechagodzilla's Heisei's equivalent? Like, I know he had like a Trump move that they pulled out.
Oh right, there was the shock anchors and there was the plasma grenade.
Plasma grenade, that's it. Because I'm thinking of a big super attack where Mogura and Mechagodzilla Heisei fires their plasma and spiral grenades as one at one monster. That'll cause a lot of damage.
Right.
You know what do you know what the other thing I just thought of? Why didn't he do if Mechagodzilla or Space Godzilla was really like a telekinetic master or whatever? Why he didn't just like catch the plasma, the spiral in midair and just fire it back? It's like, I'm sorry, you fired this at me. Here you go.
Actually, a good point. That's actually a good point. While I think Space Godzilla's telekinetic powers come from more of the gravity, like tornado gravity or whatever it's called. Yeah, it still has telekinetic properties or whatever. So yeah, why didn't he bounce those back? I guess it would have been too much of an effect. I don't know.
I think it pretty much works on immobile objects. I think if it's already in motion.
Right. Because he did pick up he did pick up Godzilla, but he was already immobile. So.
And there's also with Godzilla's atomic breath, it's still technically an immobile beam. Godzilla can't curve it or anything. If he shoots it, it's just a straight line.
Right. Unless you're talking about Godzilla Island, then that's another story.
I'm not talking about Godzilla
I know,
Island.
just the films.
But with the spiral grenade, he fires it. It's really just maybe it's because the spiral grenade would have a different energy than the atomic ray.
Well, I mean, I guess it is cosmic energy or whatever, interstellar energy. So you can play a little with that. Also, I mean, I guess you could say he also can contort the beam to his will, like because that thing could curve like no other.
Yeah, that's right, Corona beam. That is pretty powerful.
Right, it's got hits. It can hit pretty hard, like Godzilla's atomic breath. So. But yeah, that thing has a lot of curve, and I guess he just has a lot of control over it because it's his power.
It's either that. Or I'm thinking maybe it's not the fact he has control. Maybe that he has the complete control over it because he can't control it properly. If Godzilla could really control his atomic breath, I'm not sure. He's a being of cosmic power, right?
I don't think that's.
Well, as far as corner beam, it's all jagged and crooked because he can't really control it that well.
I think he can.
Fires off. Never mind.
I think Space Godzilla is well capable of controlling the Corona beam to his, to his liking. I think anytime it goes jagged and wild, I think that's belief of his will to say, yeah, strike from the left, strike from the right, or get him from behind or whatever. I highly doubt that's not because of...
Strike to the left, strike to the... You do the Corona pokey and you float them all around. That's what it's all about.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, I think, Space Godzilla, I'm pretty sure, has full control of the Corona beam. So...
I wouldn't mind combining some of the Zone Fighters. If Mothra Leah's almost all of Mothra Leah's powers are one just ultra burning hammer style, just thunderous wave of attacks with all of his most powerful moves being fired almost at once.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be friggin' nuts. I'll have to take advantage of that next time.
Maybe. I kind of wish I told you that earlier because that would have been neat to see Leo do that against the Dagora. Just out of desperation, Leo fires everything he can at that thing.
Right, I probably should have ran with that, but I had Mothra for that match specifically. I had Mothra Leo toned down because it's like even at his regular Imago state, I feel as if Mothra Leo is still a really, really strong dude. Like objectively speaking, that guy is a powerhouse.
I think people can understand how powerful Leo really is. Because everyone talks about how powerful Grand King Ghidorah is. Technically, Leo beat it. Granted, he used time travel.
Well, I mean, like, it depends on which phase of Leo we're talking about. Because it's like, yeah, Grand King Ghidorah is powerful because he completely wrecked Rainbow Mothra. And even Cretaceous Ghidorah, a much weaker version of himself, was able to put up a pretty even fight against Rainbow Mothra, who, as we know, wrecked Dagara. So...
Mm-hmm.
So
the major note I have, though, is did anyone else find the battle between Cretaceous and Leo a lot more entertaining just because it was so much closer?
Yeah, it's really refreshing. The Rebirth of the Mothra movie is really refreshing because it shows a Mothra being literally able to fight another monster without having to being a more even fight. Instead, with Mothra, she only wins mainly to the fact she's incapacitated the opponents to the point where they stop moving. She can't really fight offensively that much. With her Leo, though, he can fight offensively, and that's far more interesting to see.
Despite the fact that it's like 98% beams, but whatever.
Well, I'm not expecting Leo to go in and start clawing people.
Right.
But they were interesting. I mean, you had the whole opening up the ground trench thing, the super central whatever beam, the antenna arrays, the powder. I mean, it was a good arsenal, good varied arsenal.
You mentioned them of the crevice. That gave me an idea of Kumasagami versus Death Ghidorah. Because imagine during the opening fight, Death Ghidorah's like stopping away Earth so much that he slams his forefront on the ground, the Earth splits open, and then Kumasagami crawls out of that crevice. Like,
oh,
hey,
that would be freaking awesome.
It's like, oh shit, what did I just do? Oh, put it back.
That would be interesting because Death Ghidorah is almost like a demon from hell, and to fight someone who's literally from hell will be interesting.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny. I think I mentioned this last time too, but Kumasagami, if you were to look at the film, I don't think he's really much of a demon from hell. He's just kind of like a fantasy creature, really. Like, the film makes no effort to say, "Oh, come from hell, Kumasagami," or whatever. He's just a creature that the people of Kumaso offer their women to, for sacrifices or whatever. I don't think he's ever specified as a demon or an oni. He's just a fantasy.
By the way, what the? I mean, people usually sacrifice gods for like some type of benefit. What benefit did they get from sacrificing it to a god that lives, or like a guy that lives literally in the water? It's like, oh yeah, look at all the benefits we have.
You mean lava?
I'm pretty
sure it's the classic case of sacrifice them to her and you will, delay his rage.
I've actually wanted to explore, in the match, what exactly the relationship between Kumasagami and his followers are. Because I mean, I find it hard to believe he wouldn't care about them.
Yeah.
So if it would be interesting to have a typically evil, demonic monster, sort of as a sort of anti-King Caesar. Like, instead of King Caesar waking up to protect the village because, he loves it, Kumasagami only protects what his people because they offer more people to him. But he will still protect them because of that.
That'd be an interesting
The opposite, where the fact is, King Caesar is only there when they sing, and he's there for 5 minutes. Kumasagami's always there, and they just can't get rid of him. He's like, just go to sleep, and he's like, no, I'm staying. You can't get rid of me.
That would be interesting, but it's sort of like they're fearful of him. But when the situation really arises, they will ask him for protection. He will give it. Because it'd be really weird if he had followers and he didn't sort of try and protect them.
That'd be an interesting spin. But anyway, Deserb, I'm not sure if that's just me, but seeing your Skype blink once in a while, did you have something to say, or?
No. It's probably just my fan.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's the fan.
There's a fan? What do you think?
Yeah.
Buzz.
Great.
But, also, quick question with Kumasagami. Was there any note of how many of him there could be?
Only one. Like, the film presents only one.
Okay, so we can't do, like, wait, what am I saying? I'm the head of the KWC. I should know this.
What are you asking? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I've seen the film plenty of times, and yeah, I've Like I personally enjoy Yamato Takeru, but besides the point, yeah, there's only one Kumasogami. It's never implied that there could be multiple. So.
Okay, thank you.
That reminds me really quick. I found something. I've actually found something that wasn't covered in the extensive FAQ that you guys had.
Oh God.
What is the status with using public domain characters?
Oh yeah. I think this falls more under like the human character side of things.
Yeah. Because I know that's not actually covered in the FAQ. So I was curious about where that would lie. Because I remember I ran into that issue with a Frankenstein match. I ran into a big issue about that, and that would be nice to have clarification so something like that doesn't happen again.
Well, I think the case with, like, Frankenstein's going to be a little bit of an exception, because I did watch Frankenstein versus Baragon recently, and they do very much mention that, the Toho Frankenstein we see in the movie, it's heavily inferred he was created by Dr. Frankenstein. Like, they mentioned that his body, his body's died a bunch of times, but he always comes back with a new body. But it's still like the same heart.
It sounds like it's Godzilla, but cheaper.
Yeah.
But anyways, like other actual physical public domain characters, stuff. What's the status and stuff like that?
I would say only public characters that. I would say you can make reference to them. Like I'm perfectly fine with you like saying, oh yeah, it's like making note of national events or like things that happen in the news or like, you know what I mean, like. Stuff where it would make sense if it's somehow connected to make it work. Like if you, let's say, had a monster come out of the Japanese tsunami, when that was the real cause. You know what I mean? Like kind of stuff like that. No arguments.
Okay.
But my main exception would be don't incorporate I don't want technically Mickey Mouse is public domain, and I would say no to that.
No, I'm not gonna. As much as I would love that to happen, I think the only time monsters are gonna fight at Disneyland is the real Disneyland.
Okay. Well,
that'd be an interesting set piece of Disneyland Tokyo.
Well, oh yeah, that's right. That is a thing, isn't it? Well, we'll have to write a match where there's a battle set in Disney, Disney World Tokyo, and just see if Disney notices.
Well, actually, there was a slight tangent, but I know Death Battle was considering doing a Disney Princess Death Royale, where all the princesses fought each other, and it was going to be like a musical.
Oh my gosh!
How would that go down?
I went to their panel during RTX, and they were just like, "Yeah, but we have a bad feel. We don't like lawyers, and Disney has the scariest lawyers."
Right next to Godzilla lawyers.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm not sure what the scariest lawyers, Toho or Disney.
Maybe we should have a competition between Disney lawyers and Toho lawyers and just let them duke it out.
Let's not. I don't want to do cleanup duty on that epic battlefield in the court.
It'll be a musical to boot.
Yeah, that would just be terrifying.
Hilariously terrifying and legitimately terrifying.
I'm just imagine during the swell, one of the lawyers stands up and goes, "Objection!" in a really booming voice.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to answer my own question. What match do I enjoy writing most, and which monsters do I enjoy writing most with?
You don't get to say anything. You don't get to say anything at all.
How dare you? Let's see. The match I think I remember enjoying writing the most, well, at least the one posted on the main site, would have to be the Mechagodzilla one, 170. I remember having a blast writing that, like introducing Mechagodzilla, just utilizing that whole, oh, he's the hero, but underneath is the villain sort of thing. I love that sort of story. But if I had to be perfectly honest, my favorite monster to write with, as of right now, honestly has to go to Black Moth.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something with her that just kind of clicks with me. I don't know, maybe because I just kind of waited so long now that
you both have wings, you both have lion heads for some reason, you're both stuck, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I kind of want to write a lot more matches with Black Moth in them. I guess just because she's so obscure, but yeah.
Right. I mean, again, we all go in like phases for like monster that we enjoy writing with, and I think it's just like, again, it's pop culture. Like, it's the stuff that we absorb, and we're like, oh yeah, we can maybe incorporate with this monster or that monster. But at the same time, it's also like just personal preference, because I mean, you do get burned out writing a first-turn monster. That's why I kind of, after a certain match, I stopped. I don't use Zilla, because I used everything I could do with him. I thought of every technique. Like in 164, I thought of every way he could use his atomic breath. I was like, okay, he can do it through his nostrils. He can do it through his mouth. He could do it long range. He could do it short range.
He could do that there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, it's like in match 11, which is my one, I have Zilla again. It's like I literally have it's one match, but it has every fighting environment except one, I think. Yeah, one type of environment, and it has every type of environment you can fight in. I have in this match, and after that, I'm going to a normal match. And I'm just like, oh wait, I can't be that creative anymore. I have to be. This is a smaller match. Damn it. So I don't want to use this monster because I already used him in all these different environments.
Right. I'm hoping to have a little bit more fun. Like one of the matches I hope to do in the future is Zilla versus Black Moth. If you caught on to what I'm doing, kudos to you.
Even though none of the matches involving this monster have actually been out yet, my favorite monster to write with has been Batra. Really.
Ooh, yeah.
It's just with Batra, for me at least, he is so underutilized with how much stuff he can do.
Well, I think that's partially because KWC flexibility, being able to alternate between the two forms I think that contributes with him being more unique in comparison.
And there's also the fact he actually has like offensive capabilities, as a larva. But in larvae form, he literally can get up close and personal, which is very unique among the moth creatures.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Of all the moth creatures, all three of them.
Yeah, all three of them.
Hey, 1 out of 3 is still pretty unique, though.
Fair enough.
And but really recently, I've been having ideas for and KaijuX know exactly what I'm talking about. These grand Mecha Godzilla Showa matches.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got an idea for that, and it is genius.
I think it's actually really interesting. Like he told me about it, I was like, "Oh, go for it."
I already got one down, so I got a lot to go actually.
Right.
I'm also reading, going through the bios and stuff. I have a question.
I have an answer.
Can there be more than one final form Hedorah?
I don't even know. Like, I mean, I get going at it. Let's see. There are 2 micro Hedoras. That I remember, like they were able to create more. I'm not sure about the final forms. That's a little iffy.
It does say able to join with other Hedoras to change its form and size. It does not specify whether they have to stay in one form, though.
Right. Even then, like the Hedora, I think what it means, and I think that's mostly applying to the flying and land Hedoras, because I think. Like, you can have a flying Hedora and a land Hedora, because they both appear separately. Like they merge into one as the final Hedora, but when Hedora is, dried out for the first time, it's the land Hedora that bursts through the body and starts flying away.
You mean the flying Hedora?
No, land Hedora.
No, it's a land one, yeah. He flies away.
Oh.
Yeah,
so, but what's the sense of having 2 actual final form Hedoras then?
Right. I'm not sure. It's like trying to say we could have 2 multiple final form destroyers. It's like, I get the idea of being microscopic and whatnot, but I don't know. It just feels kind of
overkill.
Agreed. It's a bit overkill.
But the difference. I just wanted to clarify because it caught my eye, and I was really curious about that.
Right, I can't blame you. Because it's like the idea of multiple Heteras is presented. Like we see that with them
it's
taking
in the movie.
Right. We see it in the movie between the flying Hetera and the land Hetera that both merge into the final Hetera. We see that with the Dr. Yano taking pieces of the Hetera and dropping them to dirty water. They come to life and whatever. So it's like the possibility is presented, but I don't think there should be more than one final Hetera.
Okay,
so,
thank you for clarifying.
Although,
go ahead.
To be fair, in his defense, we do have like flocks of Gals allowed in the KWC, don't we?
Right. Again, it's not out of the question. Because, we have flocks of Gals, swarms of Kamacuras. Yeah, it's totally possible.
Don't forget the Gargantua.
Well, technically speaking, the Gargantua is
no,
a
not technically. Grayshot confirmed that you can have, and I remember because he got on my case about this. You can have more than two Gargantua. I remember this.
Technically, that was actually my match as well. And I do that to the fact where the monster has to be split up. Like in my match, Gara, it's in 150 something, I think. I don't know.
146, I'm pretty sure.
146, thank you.
Okay.
It's Zilla and Jajago versus Gara versus Gals. Excuse me. Gara is split.
Bless you.
Gara is split in two. And his arm gets cut off, and that completely, and that grows into its own self. But you can't have all the little cells. There has to be a chunk that can turn into him. It has to grow because like Frankenstein, the little pieces of his cells that came off when he was fighting, they didn't regenerate. But the hand, the hand was as long as it could.
Mm-hmm.
The hand somehow grew into two separate beings. Whatever.
Right, yeah, it's just,
Oh, no, if Frankenstein conquers again, or Frankenstein conquers,
that's right.
Because he lost his hand and it started growing, and
until it ran out of the proteins, then it kind of died, but...
Yep.
But it's I don't mind utilizing, the animated severed tissue bit, it's literally, say Gyric pops, he gets, arm gets cut off, arm goes in water, feeds on the proteins in the water, and, a second Gyric comes out. But I kind of prefer, how should I put this? Keep it one at a time, if that makes sense. You can literally incinerate the first Gyra, and then have, the leftover arm kind of, become another Gyra and take its place. That makes sense.
Or in my sense, you have literally Gara fights. I mean, it's mentioned, but Gara fights Gauss. He gets his arm sliced off, and then Gara comes back. He fights again, and then once that other arm regroups, then the two finally join forces and then attack. But there's not 1,000 Garas charging the island.
Because again, that would be overkill.
You wouldn't pull a Tom on us.
Right. I think the film.
You do that.
I think the film does mention something about that, a possibility, but it doesn't go into great detail about it.
I'm just imagining someone slicing out Gyra or Sanda or Frankenstein's hand, and it acts like Bane just crawling on the ground with his hands and choking someone.
Oh man, that'd be great. Oh man.
Anyways, I just wanted some clarification on that.
Right. Yeah.
Especially for the Hedora thing, because unlike Destroyer, where it's pretty much just a hive colony, Destroyer is not. It doesn't. It seems like Destroyer has two entities kind of merged into one.
I think two entities say land header or flying header merging into final, I think will be okay.
Okay.
So,
that'd be interesting to start out. That actually would be interesting to start off a match with just flying and land header, fighting separately, and then they join forces somewhere.
Right. Destroyer is a little bit more confusing in that regard, though, partially because I think Destroyer, the final form was a mutation from radiation, if you want to go by the movie. It was the flying form that was, it took some of Junior's blood, like, you know, was blasted.
I think it was more meat. I think it was just more heat than anything else. Because
I forget the specifics. It's a weird one.
So I know there's the character analysis on Destroyer on the main site, and I know they talked something about, I think fire kind of gives it some sort of boost or something. I'd have to look it up again. For Final Form Destroyer. Or, well, just Destroyer in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he kind of used the energy to, like, speak up, like, I don't know, go big or go home. You know, kind of that whole shtick. But, yeah. Huh.
So
No, sorry.
I mean, I know there was a match. It was Destroyer versus Gorosaurus, where until the very end, Destroyer actually wasn't in his final form. Oh.
Right, that's what went on that match. I remember reading that one because I was really curious because it was like, okay, how does Gorosaurus going to compete with Destroyer? Then it's like, oh, yeah, like utilizing the lesser forms of Destroyer is actually a really cool sort of kind of like a balancing act, if you will. Like, oh, Gorosaurus could win against aggregate Destroyer, but of course final form kind of comes along and wrecks his house, but but yeah, I think the fact that it's like that match utilized aggregate or one of the lesser forms against what could be considered a lesser monster, that was actually really cool. I like that. So
I was actually looking for a match with Destroyer. He gets very heavily injured, breaks down, then reforms, but he isn't completely healed like I've seen. Like when he breaks down, he reforms. He's still injured, but the injury has been lessened severely because of it. But he's still injured. Instead of what I've seen, but it does kind of remember where Destroyer takes almost a near fatal blow, deforms, then reforms like I'm fine, surprise.
Right.
Well, I guess, again, it's up to interpretation how you want to say it, the match. I mean, Destroyer can be uber powerful and just keep performing, or he has a limit. It's really up to the writer.
I personally think a limit would. I think a limit personally benefits more from a match. Oh, relationship with fire.
Just screaming, burn, baby, burn.
So, Destroyer juvenile, but whatever.
So juvenile. Lame. That actually would be interesting, right? A match with them bringing them in question against a monster that actually does breathe fire.
Well, one of the few monsters that actually breathes fire.
One of the few monsters. I think it's Orochi and Desgadora, right? Those breathe fire. Those guys breathe fire.
War Gilgar.
I just like the.
Yeah.
I just like how you're like twirling your mustache. Whoa, technically, like you're like on a technicality.
Yeah.
Great shot. You know me. I'm all about those technicalities. I've exploited those things to hell and back. Only difference between me and MM is I do it better in a creative way, other than just doing it for the trollsies. Although I did pull a grand MM. I did pull a move worthy of MM by bringing up the Mecha King Ghidorah Future thing. That was great. That was a genius move.
Yeah, actually, trying to think. I know MM did a fantastic match with 175. No doubts about that.
Oh yeah, that was really great.
But actually, Harley, I think. Oh yeah, one of your matches is actually one of the next ones up on the list. I won't say which one, but yeah, you're next. You're not like the next match, but you're up. You're like in the next few.
Oh, cool, sweet. I don't know which one you're talking about, but after my junior and Maguma match, after my junior and Maguma match, I'm really proud with the stuff I pulled out of the woodworks for the rest of them.
Well, depending on which one kind of comes next, it kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, that match was really. I love the banner for that one. That was one of my favorite banners to make.
Oh.
Right. I originally made the banner for that, but it was pretty lackluster. So thank you, Grayshaw, for taking over for me on that one. You have no idea how grateful I am that you did.
Oh, by the way, so Jackson Morris is a fantastic banner creator for us, And I gave him, he was like, hey man, can I have like a few months break? I'm like, not a problem. So that's why a lot of the you haven't seen him in a while. And luckily for us, we had Andrew take up the mantle and give us a fantastic 175 match banner. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, with the lightning flashes and the boom.
But actually, it was comically enough, I sent him a few requests, and literally the moment he's like, yeah, man, my computer just broke. Literally, I started working and it broke down. I'm going to need a month to get it up. I'm like,
oh, man.
Yeah, no problem. We're good.
That's a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
Speaking of creative banners, I really like 176's banner because it's black and white.
Mm-hmm. I think that's like the second match in KWC's history that has a black and white banner.
Yeah, that's what really struck out to me as unique. Cause I don't remember. Because I had to be reminded there was another match that had that. So it's really rare, and I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's black and white and red all over? This match. Hey!
Hey!
What's black and white and red all over? Manda.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like the first black and white banner too, Varon versus Crystalak.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was the first one.
Yeah, I believe that was the first black and white banner we've had in KWC, and I did kind of like what goes on here. It's simple in comparison. Like, it just kind of takes a still from the movie, adds in Crystalak and some crystals, and that's about it. But I do kind of like, I just kind of like the way the banner looks. There's just something about it that just kind of like that doesn't rub me the wrong way. So, of course, Christian Salibert, Titano Goji 16, he's a really good banner maker. I'm kind of surprised he's been able to go at this for as long as he has.
Before we kicked him to the curb and established our own KWC empire.
Hooray!
I will also point out that, to be fair, I like this empire better.
Well,
I
will find you.
That's true. It's also because I get to do a lot of things. I probably would. I get to do a lot of things with the current regime.
That I'm
previously.
not sure would have flown with Titano Goji. No offense to him, it's like he obviously has his own.
If I was writing for the, because if I was trying to write for the KWC back when Titano Goji, I brought up all these insane ideas. He'd probably be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" No,
probably.
Who would ever think this is a good idea? This isn't part of the movie. Get out.
Actually, speaking of which, that actually relates to the match I'm posting of yours, which is the ending. Titano probably wouldn't have allowed. First off, let me say the monster you used. No spoilers, but it's literally I tried creating what it was because it's a continuation. I think you might know.
Oh yeah,
but,
I think I know the one you're talking about.
And I literally tried my damnedest to make that stupid thing look right, and it just wasn't working. So I'm like, F it. I could not do it. I could not make it white. It just wouldn't work.
Well, okay.
Wait,
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm proud I thought of that one. I'm proud.
I couldn't make him cute and fluffy. I'm sorry. I tried.
Cute and
Shame
fluffy.
on your family. Dishonor on your family. Dishonor on your cow.
Cute and fluffy. Who?
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay. Well,
I did get a certain part of the match, which was the beauty. I think I did that decent. But no, the other part was like, I'm gonna make it cute and fluffy, and it was like, nope. It looks horrendous. It looks literally like a cotton ball.
Oh.
Clearly, Go-Go has been added to the KWC.
I brought up that. Clearly. I actually brought up I also have a joke idea for an April Fool's match, but it was sort of like a wrestling match, and Minya's the announcer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because KaijuX lost his mind when I started doing my Minya voice.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want a nice, clean monster fight. No hitting below the belt, no poking the eyes. I'm looking at you, Dad. Do you have any questions for the rules?
No, let's get it on, ring the bell, you know.
You know what would be the absolute worst monster to have like two monsters? Let's go toe to toe. Chakras versus Gorgo, whatever.
Wait,
The little
Chakras?
furball. That'd be a horror match.
Oh, right, Go-Go from Rebirth of Mothra, too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
For tiny monsters fighting each other, that would just be like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is it's gonna be a Kaiju soccer match and Goro wins the ball.
Oh, man.
That
That would actually be kind of fun, like riding a little...
Literally, if you remove the spines, it's kind of like just a rolling ball.
That's actually exactly what they do in the show, like in Godzilla Island. Like they remove like Mogira has like this
Hi.
like hey, hello. It's just
Did you miss me?
No.
not for the first hour 45 minutes.
Can I lie? Can I lie? Please, can I lie? I want to
Yes.
lie so badly right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are assholes.
We try. Of course, if you know what we deal with on a daily basis, you'd understand.
Can I have Godzilla 90s and Godzilla 2000s duke it out?
I will find you.
Get out.
Oh my gosh, that's just from the forums. Like this, like who was it?
It was
Like,
some kid. It was.
I won't specify the user, but someone just came in and said, "Hey, let's add Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla 90s from the Atari Pipeworks games." And KWC is like, "No,
What?
I'm
No.
dead serious. I'm dead." Like
We already have Godzilla 90s.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's utterly convinced that Godzilla 90s from the Atari Pipeworks games is different enough to hold his own.
No, it's
Hello?
not.
Oh
Hi.
gosh, that was a free
Yeah.
nightmare. It's just.
That was a PR nightmare.
Oh man, I was like, no, we have enough Godzillas. And I think everyone kind of commented too. It's like, hey, we have enough Godzillas. We are not worried about bringing in any more Godzillas. Okay.
We had to get rid of one.
Hey guys, can we bring in Shin Godzilla?
Yeah, right.
No.
No, I will. Once I learn Shin Godzilla's origins, I want to not have it in a match, or maybe as like a cameo or kind of like a teaser, but I want to include that in a non-combatant role. That version of Godzilla,
Right,
depending on what it is.
Which I think is all right. I believe that's been a thing where it's like, other monsters have been brought in for non-combatant roles. So.
Because that would be interesting to have them like a match between like maybe one or two of the Godzillas. All of a sudden like someone gets a call like we need you back. There's Godzilla attacking. It's like what? But Godzilla's. But then they check over the files. So wait, we just saw one of the Godzillas, and we know one of the other Godzillas is in Hong Kong. And they go, no, sir, it's a third one. There are three now.
Mm-hmm, right.
There's that sense of dread of like now there are three Godzillas.
Mm-hmm, right.
But
Well, I'm
yeah,
not
and all.
sure
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, but no, you go on.
But in all seriousness, regarding Shin Godzilla, I mean, from a design aspect, I could see why people would want him in, but I just don't see the need for another Godzilla right now. Maybe later down the line, if we say, hey, let's add another Godzilla for some reason, I'd say, yeah, let's just put in Shin Godzilla. He looks different and he has a massive different origin.
I would honestly contest if once the Legendary movie comes out, if Godzilla Legendary has no other things other than atomic breath, and if Shin Godzilla has something new other than an atomic breath, I would argue we replace Legendary with Shin Godzilla.
As of right now, I kind of like to see Legendary Godzilla as he takes on like three different roles for us.
Yeah.
Like, one, he's the modern Godzilla. He's very much the modern Godzilla that will pretty much encompass everything post 2000. Two, he's also very much a long-term experiment. Hopefully, if we get more sequels down the line, if there's any new abilities added in those sequels, we can integrate them in the future of KWC, which I think would be interesting. So in that sense, he's a long-term experiment. And likewise, I'd argue his origin is also different too, like a radioactive monster from a bygone era. So.
Unlike.
No, you go on.
And unlike Godzilla Source, people would actually get really mad if we removed Legendary Godzilla.
Right. Oh yeah,
yeah,
fourth, he's the American Godzilla, so.
But we already have the American Godzilla.
Right, but as far as I'm concerned, Zilla was just given the powers and personality of the first American Godzilla. That's as far as I'm concerned.
We still need to deport Zilla and his buddies.
True. Also, GBJ, you actually missed me. You actually missed me once again. Imagine to clarify a few unnecessary points that weren't clear. Because we cannot have more than one final form Hedorah. I confirm that. And according to good old Gratian over there, for public domain characters, you can have like real world events, and Dr. Frankenstein's the only exception for fictional. Right? Yep. That's all. It's a yes then, right?
Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. I received an important phone call, which.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I have a full-time job now, and essentially it was comically enough, it's actually why I got the KWCs all sent up, and I literally sent Anthony a massive update for this month, like 3 matches, all these errors that needed to be fixed, plans for the future, this, that, the whole shebang.
Godzilla vs. Jason, have you written matches for the KWC?
Yeah, right now I'm taking a week off to focus on other things for the week.
I mean, like you've written your own match and submitted it, sort of thing.
One of the main verifiers.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
But now he's on vacation. Get him.
Yeah. So, because you're a newcomer, what was your favorite monster to write? What favorite match have you written?
Think carefully now.
Does he even have a match?
Watching.
I actually don't really write for the KWC. I mean, I did a few like when I first joined TK.
That's what I was asking.
I don't think he has any matches posted on the site.
Yeah, I never.
That's literally what I was asking. If you've written any matches, not if you've corrected them.
Yeah, I never written any matches. The only two I could say that I written at some point was when I first joined TK. That was King Caesar versus Megalon and Gabra versus Zilla.
Okay, I'm sorry about the confusion, by the way.
It's fine. Don't worry.
In that case, if you could instead of like in a Marvel vs. Capcom, we could combine 2 super moves. If you could combine two powers from any 2 monsters into one super awesome move, what would you do?
Or if it has some kind of awesome sort of like outcome or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Combine. That's a good one. Shit, this is a hard one.
Yeah, I know.
Mine's easy. I just do Show Mechagodzilla's all-out attack and Super Mechagodzilla's all-out attack.
Oh man!
I was actually thinking him Super Mechagodzilla and Kiryu with an all-out attack.
No, I just want full-out missiles, beams, the whole shebang.
That would be
nothing
awesome.
Fancy, just a wave of death.
Just ultimate destruction, basically.
That will be wicked.
It's basically everything in front of them is just gone.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like eye lasers, mouth beams, freaking just everything.
The Garuda firing, the Garuda firing.
Oh right,
plasma
combine
grenade.
the powers. It's already been announced. Sir Knight Baggin.
Gosh darn it, Sir Knight Baggin with his mighty steed Kamagidon and
I will find you
with Giran as the blade.
Bird Scout, Giant Condor, his sword Giran,
his
and a shield Gorin.
Gorin the shield. Sir Knight Baggin.
They're Baggin, Knight of Tokyo in the forest.
Oh, good glory. Oh, man, that's funny. I forgot about Sir Baggin. Oh, man, that's too much.
Your brother updated his bio, for him, didn't he? Like, he added all the new powers and such?
For who?
Megan.
Oh yeah, he did. Like he updated Baggin, he updated Super Godzilla. Yeah.
Super Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh,
he got new powers.
Now I understand what you mean.
Right.
Powers, okay. So I'm like, really? Couldn't Super Mech again? Super
that
Mech
doesn't-
what?
That really doesn't connect to the KWC, but yeah, he updated that guy's powers too, and he also added the other monsters.
Yeah, like he updated Dagolas, he added new Godzilla to the cutting room, he added Bulkserdan and whatnot.
Yeah, all those lame characters, yes.
All those lame characters were never going to be in the KWC.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, you're not right. So yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of those interesting characters and whatnot, before I just announced my vacation, I just read One Last One, which Kaiju actually know what it is, and it was really interesting.
Right.
Interestingly good or interestingly bad?
Interestingly good from the way it
Good,
looks.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'll
okay.
make up, the only thing that's been holding me back is mostly I want to make banners for all these, but sometimes I don't feel artistic. So, oh god.
Yeah.
That's me all the time. No, I kid. Literally, I can understand that one. You just have to figure out like a good. Because some matches, it's like, oh god, like I literally realized like there's a common theme in all the new matches, and I'm just like, oh. Well, actually, no, there isn't. The ones I made, there's a common theme, and I'm like, I really want to stop making this theme because I think most of my matches are. I think most KWC matches take place on this one environment. Now thinking about it.
New York.
Well, more of an island.
The unnamed monster fighting island.
Yeah, basically, it's like always islands, always like deserted, always.
Right.
You know, KaijuX, you could always be like EA and rush everything. People will still admit.
Hey, I like to put effort in what I do. I'll only rush the editing
Let the money talk. Let the money talk.
Unlike that one writer for 164, god damn, what a horrible writer.
You are never going to let me. You're never going to let go of that, are you?
Dude, I get to make fun of myself. It's the best thing I can ever do. It's
True.
like.
I agree.
You know, Grace, if you think you have a pattern, just run the match in Tokyo Disney World.
Hey, listen, listen, that match, there are some great parts. It's kind of like the new Suicide Squad. It's like, there's some great parts. It's bad in certain aspects, but, it has some good parts in it. I literally have come to accept this.
It's still better than Orphan Fight.
I'm still,
I think that we can all agree on. It is better than Orphan Fight,
I can
the
agree
movie.
on that.
Well, the other note is I think it'll also be better than I think it's also going to be better than worse than currently match 11, which is which currently actually I have Andrew looking at right now.
Yeah.
King Ghidorah versus Hedorah?
No.
Like
the 11th installment in his series.
Oh, okay.
Which is a big match for me, and I'm kind of wanting Andrew to look it over because I want a second opinion. Because the whole reason why the other match didn't, I spent only like a week going over it. I read it twice and I read over it. So, and it was an older match, so I should have taken a lot more time, and that's what I'm doing for this one. Like I'm going over and fixing a lot of things, and there's still a lot of work to be done. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna have Andrew look this over before I send anything off.
Yeah. And I am sorry it was so cool, but like the match is fundamental. The fighting is good. That's not what I had issues with though.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. It's like I also did a calculation on this one, and there is far more monster fighting by far, like extremely so, to the point where I think it's now almost even. Like it's dead on for character in that.
Okay, because like I said, you're right. Monster Fight's fun. It was really just a human dialogue. It just really didn't. Something just felt off about it.
When you say monster fight, defined by fighting.
I mean
monsters in some capacity duking it out.
I mean, clearly,
or doing something.
Or dancing, like in Godzilla vs. Hedorah, when Godzilla just kind of danced around there all day.
or is it like Godzilla versus Gamera?
Hey, we know Showa Godzilla. We know Showa Godzilla can bust a move though.
Oh gosh. Not Godzilla vs. Gamera. Oh gosh. Which, by the way, has come out. Which came out Friday, this past Friday. Season 2 of Committee Reads has officially begun. So.
Oh, it came out last Friday?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you tell me about that?
You didn't ask.
Well, you should have told me.
Rude. I'm just imagining Godzilla and Gamera on a dance off, and Gamera spins on his shell and goes, "What?" So Godzilla does the tail slide thing, and it'll spin on that, and he goes, "What?"
Yeah, there it is. I just sent a link for all you all to enjoy and listen.
The season I missed, the season where GBJ replaced me.
Pretty much. I think that can be easily said. The one where GBJ replaces you.
Yeah, sorry, Harley. You can't have your seat back. I've taken it.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'll bring my own seat next time.
I'm fine with
You
this.
even want your old seat back.
That's true. I might not want my old seat back if you've been sitting in it.
Get off my plane.
Get off of my lawn!
Never.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, we were hitting about the 2-hour mark, and again, just as a friendly reminder, there will be a slight change in schedule when it comes to committee reads and the Pokemon Nuzlocke playthrough. So there's going to be a slight change in that. Every week there will be 2 committee reads videos coming out, and every week there will be 5 Pokemon Nuzlocke videos coming out Monday to Friday. And just hope you guys really enjoy the new schedule that'll be set in motion come the 15th. That's when it'll be initiated.
Come eventually.
So.
And also, speaking of Pokemon
That is when
Nuzlocke,
it shall begin.
Speaking of Pokemon Nuzlocke, everyone here should really go watch it. It has a couple of the best commentators on the face of the planet, really.
Yes, absolutely.
He's lying. He's lying. He's lying.
Okay,
they're only the second best. I'm still here, guys. I'm not in it.
Come on, we all know I'll be the best Let's Play commenter.
No,
witty and funny jokes.
See, I get in. See, but you don't understand. I get it for next week because you're gone.
But you're. Do you mean GBJ or me?
I mean, whoever's on vacation, honestly.
Oh, okay.
And whoever's been deported, which is Harley.
Hey, I got my work visa. I went through the legal channels to come back.
Not if I'm president. I get to deport you again.
If you're president, I'm moving out willingly and going to Canada.
Fine, I'll just keep you in a prison.
Rude.
Well, anyway, everyone, thank you guys very much for being able to participate in this month's KWCC, and I hope we will see you guys next time and next month and whatever.
Bye.
Yeah, all the words.
Bye, Z.